chatting about the Saturday's party. And first timers, right?
Yeah, we did first timers this weekend and the 3+.
Right.
Are we live? We look live.
We are live,
Ooh,
yes. We are
Hi
live.
guys.
We have one viewer. I think we throw them off by just popping on.
I think we do. Hi Brian.
Oh, Brian with the poo shot.
I gotta put
Oh, I'm feeling a little self-conscious about my hair because it's like wet and it feels like it's just doing whatever the fuck it wants to do right now.
It looks good like that. I like it like that.
Well, shout out to my beautician, hairstylist.
Your stylist.
Stylist, yeah. I think beautician is a very old word, isn't it?
I believe so.
When my first haircuts when I was a teenager were, I would go see a beautician.
Hi Jason.
We literally, I know exactly who's watching right now, all at one time. Oh, maybe not. Do we lose some? Nope.
No,
there's the first sausage.
Yeah.
Now we do.
Now. Hi Mike.
It's the 3 horsemen of the apocalypse.
You guys can argue about who is what.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say the 3 Stooges.
No.
If
I'm going to ask, see the cutest pussy ever.
Is that a trick question?
Hi. Say, I was sleeping, Mama. What are you doing to me?
Yeah, put me back down and let me sleep. What's going on, Merce Sausage? Oh, who else just came in? Oh, what's up?
We last.
Nice.
Hello.
How you doing? Now it's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Of those of you who are watching, if you had to pick a 3 Stooge to be, which one would you be? If you even know what the 3 Stooges are. Because I don't assume everybody knows what that is.
Dating yourself, G.
Gray hair?
No, I meant with the 3 Stooges.
No, I'm saying it's pretty obvious whether I say that or not. Mike says it would be curly.
Yeah.
And Brian says Shemp.
Hi, Adrian.
Is it Shemp or Shemp? That was Shemp, right? What's up, Adrian? So we're going to talk a little bit about this past weekend. I'm really, really, really impressed with how well the First Timers event went.
That one was a lot of fun. I really liked that one. Really got to know some of our newer members and helped answer a lot of questions. There were so many questions.
Yeah.
And that was a great time. I really liked that one.
Mm-hmm.
There was even a couple, members, veteran members, I guess is a better way to put it, who were also there to help some of the newer members feel welcome and, answer questions about the lifestyle and different things.
Yeah, absolutely. Wheela says that their mom called my sister. He says, me, my sister, and cousin, Frick, Frack, and Fred. And they were Frick.
She was Frick. Nice.
Zoe Violet playing hooky.
Hi, Zoe.
Hooky.
And Jason's asking where Mary Lou is.
Mary Lou is upstairs, snuggled up in her bed, enjoying some well-needed rest, or much-needed rest.
She wasn't feeling well, huh?
No, she's got a little bit of sinus. Apparently something's been going around. Knock on wood.
I think I've built my immunity to that because I was sick as well.
Well, there's this one.
Ooh.
We're trying to figure out how to best position us, and I think these are our options. Unless Anne wants to be really big.
No. Hi, other Zoe.
Do you want me on top then?
No.
No, you want okay.
Mm.
Zoe, we got Zoe squared in the house.
So, what was for dinner tonight over there, guys?
Well, Rachel Ann, what's up?
Hi, Rachel.
So tonight, Godmother's Catering made grilled chicken with
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't even know what it was on it. It was actually really delicious. It was like some sort, almost like a glaze, but it wasn't quite a glaze. And then smashed Parmesan um, potatoes, roasted carrots, mushrooms, and zucchini,
Ooh.
and a little salad,
Mm-hmm.
and like an apple. Basically, what I would say would be apple pie filling.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's
That
still
sounds
some left.
great. I hope there's leftovers when I get there.
Well, we'll see.
I know, I know. If I would have been there tonight.
Yeah, I had some already. It was actually very, very delicious. So, but yeah, so first timers went really well. We had, like Ann was saying, we've had some of our actual members show up, and I think when we do the next one, which is I think going to be Black Friday in November, um, we are going to invite some of our um, more long term couples that
Mm-hmm.
know a lot about the club and some of the nuances and that. Invite them because that really seemed to help also. Um,
Yeah.
excuse me, but we gained a lot of new members that night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Some came back on Saturday, which
They
I
did.
think
They did.
by all accounts, Saturday, the 3+ event, looking for a third was a smashing success.
It was. It was great.
Yeah. What's up, Keith?
Hi, Keith.
So yeah, it well attended, lots of play, um, and for a first time, and we really hadn't done an event like that before on a Saturday.
No.
We had played around with it on Fridays and with okay results, but it really, you know,
Yeah.
so Jason, I will definitely tell Mary Lou I said you said hi. So oh, there were brownies too. They made brownies,
Oh.
so they were
Well, it's a shame I didn't make it into the
well.
facility today.
I'm sure we'll see you on Friday.
Yes, definitely.
So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, so I made a point of on Saturday, this to suggest that I was not working, that I was off, and kind of put it out there. And
Mm-hmm.
I even went so far as to post a booty call or a date, and the whole week was kind of weird for me in that regard. Like, Mary Lou was in Cleveland for to spend the week with her mom for her
Mm-hmm.
birthday, which was really nice, and just trying to enjoy things, right? Nothing ever worked out. Like, I shouldn't say nothing.
Right.
The things that I really tried to plan didn't work out. I had one sort of impromptu that happened that I was like, oh, okay, cool. This was fun. Um, Saturday was kind of more of the same. Like I kind of half expected, like, okay, maybe it'll work out, connect with somebody or whatever. But I connected with a couple of people in different ways, and I was able to sit
Mm-hmm.
down and really have some great conversations with some relatively new people.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, two of the people I talked to, it was their second time, but they were both. One of them was very nervous, very very nervous, and so at the end of it, he was just very appreciative of the conversation.
Yeah.
And after I got done with that, I thought, okay, yeah, I definitely had sort of ulterior motives or plans for the evening, um, but this turned out way better.
Yeah.
It was connecting with somebody in a different way, and
Mm-hmm.
and he really seemed to appreciate that. He was you. I know you saw who it was. He was camped out on the couch in the lounge there for a long time, just kind of like sloughed back. He almost looked like he was sleeping,
Yep.
and
Well,
it's
those couches are very comfortable now.
they are.
They are very comfortable.
So, for those of you who don't know, we moved some things around, and the champagne room
Mm-hmm.
couches are now in the lounge,
Yeah.
along with the bar. And because the champagne room is no longer the champagne room, It is now
Mm-hmm.
the group open group playroom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but anyway, after talking to him for a while, he told me he was just really, really nervous. Now,
Yeah.
and you saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Would he look like somebody to you who like would give off the impression that would be he would be nervous?
Not sure what you mean by that because I mean he didn't look like your Hollywood typical person that they stereotype into like a nervous person. If that's
No,
what you're
what I
asking.
mean was,
I
he
mean, they had a lot of qualities that were seemed visible from the outside that should indicate that they should have a lot of confidence.
yeah, and I don't even know, like, I think what I understand you saying is, he was a nice looking man. Um
Hmm.
like otherwise
He
would
was
have
well
appeared
dressed.
confident.
Yes,
Yeah, well dressed
well
and
mannered.
yeah, well mannered.
Hmm.
And to hear somebody who, we were very close in age. I think he was actually a little bit younger, say to me, I'm just really super nervous to be here. And then we talked a little bit about his career, what he did. And I was
Hmm.
marveling at that. Like, you're nervous about walking around here navigating, and this is what you do for a living. And I'm not going to say what it is, but suffice to say, this person is a sharp person and should have all the confidence he needs.
But see, I completely understand that because when I'm at the club in like a work perspective, I'm very comfortable in my professional output and my professional version of me.
Hmm.
But I'm not necessarily as comfortable with me as a person and sharing that with people. I find that more challenging and difficult. So I understand that.
Yeah.
Professional, I almost have the armor of the job to, give it some separation.
All right. What's up, Anthony?
Hi, Anthony.
Yeah. And I think it's important to articulate to anybody who's watching this, who maybe has never been to the club before, or maybe you've been to the club a few times, or you joined and haven't attended yet, which all those are very common, obviously. Um, it's You're going to be nervous. It almost doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I still, like, even in my own place, like Saturday night, I was kind of nervous. Like, okay, you know, but I will say this: I did have an interaction with somebody who did express some interest, and it just wasn't a situation I was necessarily interested in. And we get asked a lot, like, how do you navigate those types of situations? And I think as an owner, I feel much more pressure, um, not to say yes, but that what happens when I say no? Like, is this person's feelings going to get hurt? Are they going to be upset? Like, are they going to lash out because you know, whatever. Um,
Hmm.
and I was just really direct with them. And I said, hey, I appreciate the interest. It's not something I'm prepared to do tonight or want to do tonight. But should something change, I'll let you know.
Hmm.
And he was super nice about it. He was cool or whatever. Um,
Nice.
and I think people get in their own heads about even saying no, or, how to get out of a situation, and really just being direct and honest in a kind and gentle way, is really the best way,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Hmm.
but I know it's difficult. It's still wildly difficult for me at times. So, which is why you don't see me most of the time in that,
Right.
almost in that position, in that situation.
In that role of
Yes, in
member.
that role. Yes. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but um, but I even feel that way a little bit, even in like when Mary Lou and I have gone to other places, and I know it's just me. I know it, but you're going to be nervous, and that may come as a surprise, to some people. Like, how is somebody who's been doing this so long nervous? It just is. You know, you've been here for how long?
A while. A while. I stopped counting. I don't know.
You stopped counting?
Yeah.
Counting the days or the years?
Oh, the years.
Yeah.
Upset cat.
Your cat.
She was stealing part of my chair. I had to evict her
Mhm.
from the surface.
So, for those of you who just joined us, yes, we are a little late on the show tonight. Both Mary Lou and Zoe are out today. So,
Mm-hmm.
Anne is working from home today. This is a work at home day.
Yeah.
So, well, at least today anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Which, as I'm sitting here, I realize I need art for my my home office. It's really white back there.
it's okay. Shane says days only count 1 to 7 and repeat. That is true. No doubt there. So, so speaking of Zoe, I wanted to. Um, Anne and I were reading a story that Zoe had shared. I'm going to try and pull it up here real quick.
I'm gonna let everybody know I did not get through all the updates yet. I got it like 10 minutes before we went live, and it was not enough time
Okay,
between
so
that and
I have to say this, Anne, really quick. So remember earlier you said you were going to look at something in a news feed and you got stopped by something.
yeah,
Yeah, I just had that same experience.
yeah. Helicopter,
Yeah, I'm just going
helicopter.
to say
Yeah.
helicopter.
Jump on the news feed, you'll see it.
Yeah, if you're not a member, you may want to join at least while you can still see it. Um, so I'm popping this up, and I'm actually going to grab the link and put it in the chat so that anybody who wants to actually read the article can do so. But I'm going to sort of paraphrase the whole entire article, also prefacing with it is entirely possible that this entire thing is bullshit.
Yeah.
Completely made up. It is the internet. It is Reddit. Um, However, even if that's the case, or even half, or there are parts that aren't exactly right, I will tell you that I'm going to share with you just the bullet points of this Reddit article, and there's a reason for this. So, couple part of their kink is in BDSM, some people it's a very dom sub relationship, and they'll do role play. And like a lot of people, they'll sext throughout the day with each other. And, for some people, it's just, oh, I want to, hold you or, anyway. In kink and BDSM, that can sometimes look very dark to outside eyes, people that are not accustomed to seeing those things or experiencing that or even know that that exists. And according to the story, the wife was letting her sister use the phone, and I think a message popped up or something, and from her husband, and the nosy sister read the message. Well, it was some sort of like, I'm gonna something about when you get home. It was, something not terrible, but it was definitely, from outside eyes, looks bad. Well, then the sister keeps reading, and she's seeing all these terrible messages as she reads them, terrible messages. Gives the sister back the phone. The next day, the mom and the sister and the dad and the brother all confront the wife about this, and they're accusing the husband of being abusive. The sister is a social worker, so she's seen this before, and this is, classic behavior. The wife's trying to protect the abusive husband, and long story short, this spreads like wildfire. The police get involved. Um, they're now split up. He's allegedly living in another state or somewhere else. Won't tell her where he is, and this is just apparently a really terrible situation. Now, the story itself could be bullshit. The situation, however, is very plausible, and the reason I say that is there is not a single state in this country where certain acts of BDSM are legal.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't a state where you can consent to being hit. In some states, and this person comments that even being tied up and anything happening after being tied up is non-consensual. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important to sort of keep these things in mind when you're doing things, and when people are concerned about being outed or you're being flippant with people's personal information, which does happen. Things like this can happen. I know stories from people personally where terrible things have happened because of exposure, involvements in the lifestyle. And that's not to scare everybody, because I know it can be scary. Um, it's just these things do happen. So, are you reading it now, Ann?
I was actually trying to look up if BDSM was legal in the state of Pennsylvania.
It's not, but if you remember, or those watching, we talked a couple of episodes ago about
EEP.
yeah, EPP, which is explicit
EPP.
prior, yeah, EPP, which is explicit prior permission, and
Mm-hmm.
it's an actual legal defense that can be used in these cases, um, successfully as well. My understanding. Unfortunately, the couple that we're talking about got a lawyer involved or whatever, and apparently isn't unaware of that as a thing. But these are important things to know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just when we're engaging in, especially in BDSM activities, it's important to know you know who you're doing certain things with.
Yeah.
There's an immense amount of trust.
Yeah.
So, or at least there should be.
I mean, there's certain BDSM activities that I find extremely interesting.
Mm-hmm. Same.
However, the level of trust I feel like I would need with a person is so monumental that I'm not sure I'll ever find that person or that connection, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's tough. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I have a person in my life, Mary Lou, that I'm able to be very open about my sexuality with, my kinks, the things that I'm interested in. Um, but that's something we work toward. We've been together 10 years, 10 plus years now.
Yeah.
It didn't happen overnight, but it did start with conversations, honest conversations, very early on. People ask this question all the time: when's a good time to have the talk, so to speak, about kinks, or your interest in ethical non-monogamy or swinging or polyamory? For me, it's right at the beginning.
Yeah, I agree because why would you want to build a connection with someone and then find out that you're so incompatible in such an important area of your life?
Yeah, there's no
You
question.
know.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's and fortunately, um, some people, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, surrounding cities, they do have clubs like this where people are permitted to explore those sorts of ideas, and it makes it a lot easier because
Hmm.
the majority of the people that are in the space or on the website are also interested in that in some way, form, or some form or fashion. So it makes it a
Right.
lot easier to connect that way. Not saying we have a dating
Mhm.
site. I'm just saying that, you know, yeah, it's important to have those conversations up front.
Yeah.
You and even though Mary Lou and I were, um, you know, I knew Mary Lou was in the lifestyle. Obviously, I was him, whatever. Uh,
Hmm.
made some of those conversations a lot easier. But to be blunt, some of the things that I've shared even early on, I wouldn't have shared with anybody else.
Yeah.
So, uh, but you build that trust by being honest.
Yeah.
You know,
Dialogue.
hmm
Hmm.
and it's tough because I think people get worried about it being used against them in some way.
What,
Um,
like their desires?
yeah, like if you share something, so for me, You know, stereotypically, somebody who looks like me, acts like me, presents like me, some of the things that I'm into would be very surprising to people. So sharing those things with your partner or even with other people, there's a certain level of fear there, like
Yeah.
judgment. The reality
Hmm.
is it's what boils right down to judgment,
Fear of
fear of,
judgment. Yeah.
yeah, and we all have it. Um, but it's,
Yeah.
I will just say from my own personal experiences that the more I move down that road of just self discovery, and as that evolves, being honest with, my partner, with Mary Lou,
Hmm.
that it just, number one, it gets way easier very quickly. Excuse me. Um, because it's like anything, practicing. If you're in a
Yeah.
sports, throwing a ball, the first time you threw the ball, you would throw the ball like I throw one with my left hand, which is really wonky. Um, you know, but after the fifth time, after the 25th time, after the 150th time, it just becomes super easy and comfortable. Um, I think some people would say, well, what if my partner does do that? Then you have to be okay with that.
Hmm.
You just have to know that that's a possibility.
Hmm.
And if you truly want to live your authentic life, you want to have the life that you want, the relationship you want, then you have to do those things. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're both living, I don't want to say a lie, I think that's a strong word, but a not genuine relationship.
Yeah.
You know, I would even suggest that it's not sharing is being manipulative because you're not giving your partner the opportunity to say yes or no.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but just because like a lot of things are very private, and you know, now if you're with a partner and you have expressed to them that I'm not withholding anything from you, and you're withholding something, then I would agree that that would be manipulative.
Yeah, I think
It's
what I,
saying,
yeah, go
you
ahead.
should be
Sorry.
able to say that, there's some things I'm not ready to talk about yet.
Yeah,
Because it might not be your comfortability with your partner. It could be your comfortability with yourself and still accepting that about yourself on
of
its own.
course, of
You
course. Oh, trust me, it's.
know, you should know.
I There's no question. I know.
Yeah.
Um, oh, sorry. I needed. Let me interject for this Ice House Edge commercial. That Jason is apparently drinking this beer Dusty. What? I'm drinking this beer Dusty called Ice House Edge, and it has 80% alcohol in it.
What's a beer dusty?
Anyone? Yeah, I don't know what a beer Dusty is, but that's pretty fucking. I never heard of such a thing.
I'm not
Anyway.
sure I'd want 80% alcohol in my beer. It's like a one and done. It's
Well,
like, and on the other
considering,
side of
yeah,
things.
considering a can of beer is 12 ounces and it's 80% of its alcohol, somebody's dying soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're all getting in trouble.
Yeah, Jason, I hope you're sipping it for like the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think um, to put a little better context on what I said earlier, I think what I'm suggesting is if it's something that potentially could impact the person's desire to continue a relationship with somebody, and it's something that is important enough for the other person to want to explore, at least at some point in that relationship, it should be a conversation early on. That's just my general feeling about it.
Yeah.
I and I come from having done all of the things I'm advocating against right now. So I speak with experience that I get it. I've been here, I've done that. I got the t-shirt. A good friend of mine always says that. Um, it's so, but at 52 years old, I'm just now realizing a lot of these things, and have been slowly over time. So if you're watching this and you're hearing these words, know that time is finite. You're here. The amount of time you're here is finite. Somebody I know, I was just telling Ann before we went live. A few years my senior, but in way better shape than me, had a heart attack. And was very, very surprised by that, because they eat healthy and they exercise and they're very active, and
See, it's all that exercise. Too much wear on the heart.
remind me to go. We're going to circle back to exercise in a minute. But it's you don't know. I was actually talking to another friend of mine today, and he says the moment you're born, you already have an expiration date. And that's true.
I guess so.
You just don't know when it is. So the best time to have done something that you wanted to do is yesterday, and the second best time to do it is today, and the third best time is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to wait for the right time. I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's never the right time. Anyway, that's it.
Jason didn't answer a question.
He what?
He didn't answer a question about what's a dusty beer or a beer dusty.
He probably left. Or either that, or he finished the beer and he's passed out already.
Oh, it was 80% alcohol, so probably not.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've been last couple of weeks I've been trying to walk here and there. Speaking of healthy exercise or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I mentioned a few weeks back during Labor Day weekend. I think I told you guys I was running around with the grandkids, being silly in the grass, or whatever, and like for the next 3 days, I was so sore, like my hamstrings, my feet, everything were just sore. So today I decided I was going to actually run.
Oh, how'd that work out?
Well, so I ran, I ran twice. I did something very specific. I ran up the hills, going up to the main road there, and
Oh,
so the first time I did it, I know 100%. I wish somebody was videotaping this. I was running like what I've seen old men run like, because I'm just saying these legs have not had to really run in a long time, and
yeah.
it was a bit of a struggle. But the second time I did actually sprint it out a little bit, and I did much better. So, but I feel like I'm going to really feel it the next couple of days. So if Friday when you come in, you see me walking around like a literal old man, you'll know why.
Okay. Fair.
So anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing this weekend?
What are we doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Actually, we're off on Friday.
I know. What are we doing?
Well,
I'm like, what are we doing?
so we actually got invited to some paintball thing up in Freedom, Pennsylvania. A friend of ours. I don't know if they've been on here before. Oh yeah, Adrian, you like that shirt? There's actually a couple of videos about this shirt where we counted the number of penises on it, and I don't know. I know the person that knows the answer is not on right now. I bet you. I wonder if the other Zoes, if they're still watching, if they know the answer of how many dicks are on it. Anyone want to guess before they say it? I don't even know that I remember, but I think I do.
I don't feel like I can participate because I do believe I was here for the last time we counted them. So
Do you
it's
remember the
somewhere
number?
I think so ish,
I'm
but
gonna put it in the chat. Oh, sorry, Adrian. I can tell you're way off.
hi
Oh,
Carolyn, bye
hi
Joe.
Sherilyn. Bye Joe. Brian says 32. Well, here, let me stand up so they can actually get a better idea how many are on here. There. Now, if somebody wants to screenshot that and count them, feel free. So I got told today, Sherilyn, what's the name of the person I look like? like fucking Schmeicher or something from Shrek. I don't know. Fudgin' fucker.
Oh, Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, Farquaad.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear Sherilyn giggling.
Adrian says
84.
40. Anthony says 84. We less
We
says
laugh.
69.
Oh, Shane. No way. Yeah. This is like, what was it? The Price is Right. If you overbid, you lost.
Thought it was like one of those gumball things, like guess how many gumballs in the jar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that the number of penises on my shirt are way more than the actual penises I've had my entire life. Pretty sure. Are Zoe's even watching? Is Zoe and Zoe on?
I don't think so.
I think they left us. You know what?
I mean, we're probably just sitting there on the counter talking away while they're doing something else.
Yeah. Well, Zoe's probably already told the other Zoe the Reddit story. So they're like, well, we've already heard this one. So I'm going to confirm the number and I'll get back to you because I don't remember. I have to go back and look.
You can just count them.
I'm not counting them right now.
Oh, no, not right now.
No, I'm not counting. Mm-hmm. Not counting penises. Certainly not counting the number of penises I've had.
So I used to count how many partners I'd been with, and then at some point I just decided it wasn't worth it. Like, does it matter from this number to any number in the future? And the answer was no.
I so want to ask you the question. Like,
what, the number I stopped at?
Yes.
I lost track between 33 and 36, and I just gave up.
I wish I could high five you right now.
Like, I knew the names up to like 31 for the longest time, and then I lost it. Once I gave up on all of it, and I was like, I don't care.
I would say that I definitely don't know the number, first of all. It's definitely not into 3 digits. I know that.
Yeah.
Like, not close. But, you know, it's a fair number. You know.
Yeah.
Not judging. I think if it were 1,000 people, I wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, God bless you. You know, as long as you're doing it safely, you know, and you're not being irresponsible.
Getting tested regularly, get tested, have the STI conversation, talk about protection.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me. So over the weekend, I had one of our members, she had come up to me and asked about condoms. And, you know, and they were asking for recommendations of condoms because they had used one. I don't know if I'm assuming one they bought somewhere. And it broke while they were using it with somebody. Mm-hmm. So they, you know, of course, there was concern about STD, STIs or whatever. But I showed her, I said the condoms that we currently have were donated by Central Outreach, and you know that they're really, really durable condoms. They're probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, you can get. You know, microdose yourself into needle play. Oh my God. No, just say no to needle play. But yeah, you know, and in that situation, you definitely want to get tested, especially if there was fluid exchange. Even if that didn't happen, it's still very possible for you to get something. So, you know, those things do happen.
Yeah.
So, plus, that's how babies are made too. Sometimes that happens between loving people and the condom breaks, and oops, here comes the baby.
Yeah.
I can't say that it happened to me. I knew.
No, that's not how it happened. Yeah, I knew what I was doing too. No.
I was talking to my youngest the other day, and he said he was having a conversation with somebody. I'm not going to say who, and he said it jokingly, of course. He's like, "You don't think I know I was an accident?" The truth of the matter is, both of them were kind of accidents. I mean, we knew what we were doing, but I don't know. When you're 20, 21 years old, I mean, please. At least when I was 20 and 21 years old.
I pretty much decided if I was going to have a child, it was that year or no year.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was
Well,
like
so
early 30s, and I was like doing the calculations of how old I'll be at graduation. And then you got to think, kids aren't having kids as young these days. So, like, I still want to see grandkids if I'm going to see them.
right.
So it was either have a child in my, you know, first half of the 30s or I wasn't going to do it.
Hmm. Well, that's funny. My youngest and I were talking about that, and they said the same thing. Well, not the same thing. He's 28 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
he's wondering. I don't know that he's saying he doesn't want to have kids, but he's just not sure when the right time would be, but he doesn't want to be an old dad. So it's that's a I don't want to say it was thrust upon me or forced upon me, but I guess it was thrust upon me. I mean, I had kids young, and so I don't really, never really got to try and plan that out. And I was so young that having kids wasn't even really a thought. So I can't imagine what it's like to be late 20s, 30s, even your 40s, and sometimes 50s thinking about kids.
I mean, I didn't plan it well, but, you know.
You are making a huge assumption that there is a right plan for having
No, no,
kids.
no. I didn't say right. I said I didn't plan it well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm still going to push back on that. There's just degrees of situations, that's all.
I guess what I'm trying to say is there was a lot of things I didn't take into account or factor in or think about when I made my plan and therefore overlooked a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
So I didn't plan it well, but it worked out fine.
Yeah, listen, it's always going to work out. So,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
actually went
so
to open house tonight at the school, which is
and
why I'm doing it remote. It was great.
yeah,
You know,
anything you
got
can
to see
share
her
on air?
classroom and I got to see some of her projects in her little workbook. I flipped through the pages of her schoolwork, and they like to give you produce when you go to the school for things like that. So I have a watermelon and green peppers and cucumbers and corn. Oh, and cutie oranges.
Oh, I mean, that's a nice little variety of vegetables and fruit.
Yeah, I went towards the end of the thing, and they were basically like, "Take as much as you want. How much more will fit in your car?" And I was like, "Whoa, whoa." Slow down. And they were like, we got 15 minutes to get rid of this whole table of food. And I was like, So I got some extra for us to snack on during the week.
Cool,
So,
cool. Well, we have our caterers made some brownies along with some other desserts, and so
no.
I'll try and save you the. I don't know what they call. I can't remember what they call that. It's like apple pie filling or something, like an apple
Mm,
bake or something. But
sounds delicious.
it's apple pie without the crust.
Nice.
Yeah, I sprayed a little cream on it.
I was going to say, do we even have whipped cream anymore? We haven't had whipped cream. We're
I
just
do
talking about snacks now on the live. Look, what kind of snacks we got at the club?
have.
I'm not even at the club.
Yeah, Shane's absolutely right. You can plan for having a kitty,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway. So yeah, this weekend we started to go down that road, and we were saying we're
We are,
off.
yeah. Off on Friday, and then 6 Degrees of Sexuality on Saturday, which is our big wristband party.
Zoe Violet. Zoe Violet says, no kids for Zoe, reason 923. I don't need to know what the feeling of the Chester Burster scene from Alien feels like personally, of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a clue what that feels like.
I highly recommend if anyone is going to have a child, use the nitrous oxide. You have to self administer it. Amazing.
I didn't know that was a thing. If that were a thing, I would have been trying to get pregnant the whole time.
It was an option for me when I was in New Hampshire at
Okay.
the Catholic hospital. But that was amazing. I would do that. Highly recommend that for pain. Highly recommend.
So, my original, how do I say this? My original adult dentist would administer laughing gas or so he says poppers for pregnant girlies, yes. Um, but yeah, he would do the nitrous oxide, and I remember the first time doing it, I was like, I didn't really realize that I was feeling a certain way until I realized I was feeling a certain way, and it was quite the experience.
I I actually tended to get sick at the dentist office with the nitrous oxide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently I'm really susceptible to it, and it works rather well on me. So I think I was always just getting too high off that, and I would throw up on my dentist 9 times out of 10,
Hence why
like a
my dentist now
teenager.
wears a complete face shield, and
Yeah,
you know,
but yeah, I mean, with when you self-administer stuff like that, like they give you the little mask, so when you feel too gone, you just remove it from your face, and you start sobering up immediately.
hey Zoe, since you're watching again, do you remember how many dicks are on my shirt? Um, so yeah, nitrous oxide, and I think we talked about this before, but I didn't know for the longest time that that's what was in fucking whipped cream cans. Like that's what they did. I think you're really close, Zoe. If that's not the answer, it's really close. Ugh. Where's Brad? Somebody text Brad and find out. The answer to everything in life is 42.
The Hitchhiker's Guide into the Galaxy does say that that is the answer to life.
Hmm. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what were we talking about before?
I don't know. We were talking about the 6 degrees of sexuality and possibly going to shoot zombies with ping pongs.
Oh yeah. So anyway, we got invited to do some zombie shoot thing, but everyone's been kind of sick and wonky or whatever. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not. But we'll see. But yeah, other than that, Saturday is one of our big events.
It is. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was just informed my child's teddy bear is lost.
Oh no.
And I said, I will check when I'm done.
Right. Well, hopefully they'll find it.
Yeah, it's either here or there or
But
in one
yes,
of the cars.
6 degrees of sexuality.
Yeah,
Very, very popular event.
it
Just
is.
for those of you, Shane says nitrous is for more power. Is there really any difference between the two? I mean, it's nitrous oxide is nitrous oxide, right? I mean, maybe I'm an
Yeah.
idiot, but they probably put something in it so you don't huff it.
We're very distracted, guys. So the 6 degrees of sexuality is our typical wristband party with some extra. So we have three color indicators for you to indicate what level of play you're looking for. Like red, just sort of checking things out, not really looking to play. Our yellow is looking to play if there's mutual interest, and green is more than like looking to play. Don't necessarily need a name or much else beyond that.
Yeah.
Um, just so everybody knows, consent is still required even during that event. These are more for conversation starters to get things going.
Yes.
You can add additional colors to your wristband so people you can indicate what you're looking for. Masculine presenting would be blue, feminine presenting pink, and then all would be purple or
Yep.
couples. Mhm.
Yeah. So this is one of our more popular events, and I think at least over the years when you talk to people, it's because it takes a little bit of the angst out of who do I talk to,
Mhm.
and the color, like Ann said, the color wristbands are just sort of a general conversation starter, not a negotiation.
Yeah.
So, you know, you still need explicit prior permission before doing things. So make sure you have conversation. Um, if you're both wearing green wristbands and you both don't want a whole lot of conversation, then you can go down that road.
Yeah.
Or with anybody. I mean, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think these are more for that reason. It just takes some of that anxiety out. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would expect to be a busy weekend this weekend.
Me too.
Um, we actually kind of did that a little bit last weekend too for the 3 plus. We
We
did
did add the pink, blue, purple to help start some conversations as well.
that actually worked out. So I was telling you I was having conversations with people, and
Mhm.
ironically, both people I was having conversations with were wearing purple wristbands, as was I. Um, to that point, one of them even pointed out, like, "Oh, see, I'm wearing purple and you're wearing purple," and there was a touch of a language barrier there.
Mhm.
But even in that case, the wristband helped in that regard. So
Nice.
yeah,
Good
so
for
that
you.
was you know so yeah, I was thinking about that when we set that up for the 3 plus. I was like, it's almost so we have the traffic light party, which we've done numerous times in the past, which is just the red, yellow, and green wristbands. And then we developed the 6 degrees of sexuality and we added the other colors. But then we did this
Mhm.
3 plus event where it's just the other three colors, the blue, blue, pink, and purple.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. So anything else you want to chat about before we start our exit out?
No. This would be a good time because it looks like my child and her father are on their way over to collect said teddy bear.
All right. Well, good.
Yeah.
If you need to dip out, why don't you go ahead and do that, and I'll do the wrap up
Okay.
and go from there. I appreciate
Yeah.
you, chiming in from way yonder.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
I'm
We'll see.
laughing at the comical instructions. He's like, put them on the porch. Like, if you're sitting on a live, like, you can just get up and walk away from the camera. Just go collect shit around your house and put it on the porch.
Yeah, I'll be
But
right
it's
back.
okay.
I'm gonna go do number two. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
Anyway.
Say good night, guys. I'm so tired.
Well, his eyes are closed.
I know. They're gonna think you're dead. Wake up.
It's like, no, I'm dead to the world.
She says, but Mama, it's sleeping time.
All right, Ian. I will see you later. Enjoy the
All
rest of your
right. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us.
night. Oh, and had to take yourself off. Good night, Brian. So let me get a quick sip of my water here before I give you the rundown on how to join the Body Shop. Um, if you have watched this live stream for the first time and you're interested in joining the Body Shop, you can visit bodyshopclubs.com, click the Apply Now button, and that will walk you through the application process. Please take your time with it. Be sure to read all the instructions, fill out all the appropriate boxes, watch the uh, CAP video, which is the consent awareness policy. Consent awareness policies program video. That's going to go over the basic consent policies of the club. That'll be followed by your age verification. And we do that now because we are getting in front of the what appears to be mandates coming down from different states requiring age verification before people can access adult material. And we do happen to have a couple of nipple shots and booty shots on the Body Shop website. So user uploaded, of course. Anyway, hey, what's up, April? welcome back. It has been a while. Yeah, good night, guys. Those of you who are dipping out early, good night. Thanks for hanging in there. And while Mary Lou is not on the live stream tonight, if you do need some more professional help, maybe coaching through ethical non-monogamy, questions about it, concerns about how to communicate in your relationships with people, or even you're, interested in starting new relationships but don't know how to talk about that, visit marylouandyou.com and you can book an appointment. Here, let me change this and we'll put Mary Lou's stuff up here. I lost my... Here we go. We got that. You can go to enmsexologist.com or marylouandyou.com and book an appointment with her to talk about those needs. I appreciate you guys watching. We are not doing the outro again tonight. Well, I don't know. We're going to try some different stuff. Appreciate you guys hanging in there. You guys have a good night. Bye.